Hey guys, welcome back. Tonight we are making seafood stuffed pasta shells. And guys, if you like these videos that I'm making, please go ahead and leave a 1 in the comments. And if there's something that you want to see me make, go ahead and leave it in the comments. Tell me what the recipe is and let me know and I'll give it a try. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to start off by cooking our turkey bacon. I'm using about 4 or 5 pieces. You don't need a lot unless you're making a big portion, okay? But this should be good enough. So we're going to go ahead and fry those up. And then we are going to boil our jumbo pasta shells. I'm using a half a box, but you can use a whole box. It's up to you. Now let's start by seasoning our shrimp. I'm going to start by using paprika, some garlic powder, as much as you want. You know I love the garlic. Some ground black pepper. And lastly, we're going to add in our Pink's Himalayan salt. Not a lot, y'all, just a little bit. We don't want it to be too salty, okay? And now we're going to go ahead and check our bacon. We're going to flip it over and make sure that side isn't too burnt. We don't want it burnt. We don't want extra crispy, just a nice little crunch. So let's go ahead and mix our shrimp up and make sure each piece has a nice amount of seasoning on it, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and season our salmon. So again, we're going to use paprika and evenly sprinkle some on there, and our good old garlic powder, as much as you want or as little as you want. It's up to you. And lastly, our ground black pepper. Sprinkle nice generous amount on there, okay? And okay, I guess we can add some salt too. Sprinkle just a little bit on there, okay? Not too much. So let's get the cooking and add our shrimp to the pan. So you want to lay them nice and flat. You don't want them toppled on top of each other because you want it to have a nice sear to it. Once you got all your shrimp in the pan, we're going to drop in a couple dollops of butter. I am using vegan butter. It's my preference. And then you're just going to mix it around in there so the butter can get around in the pan and touch almost every shrimp. It's okay. Once you flip them around, it'll start to melt down and each piece will have some butter on there. So keep checking them, and we want to have a nice sear on each side. So you see how mine have a nice little brownness to them. So we flip them over and they look pretty good. So now it's time to take them out. We're going to sit them in a bowl to the side. Now we're going to go ahead and use that same pan and cook our salmon, skin side down. I want the skin to get a little crunchy so it'll be easier for me to peel it off, okay? While that's cooking, we're going to go ahead and cut up our bacon. We want it in nice little chunks. It doesn't have to be minced, just some nice little chunks because we're using it for garnish. All right, time to check on that salmon. You see how I was able to pull that skin right off? You want it to have a little bit of crunch to it because it makes it easier to peel off. Now that it's off, we're going to go ahead and season it. Again, I used the paprika, ground black pepper, garlic powder, and salt. While that's cooking again, we're going to go ahead and take the shrimp that we took out and we're just going to cut each one in half. I like to cut them in half because then it just makes it easier when you're trying to stuff the shells, okay? Now let's check on our salmon, and it looks like it's done. Nice little crisp to the top layer. All right, so let's go ahead and put it on our cutting board, and I'm going to cut it in half. And then I'm going to start cutting it up the other way. I am trying to make nice little chunks of salmon. That way when we go to put it in our shells, we won't have these big old clunky pieces of salmon, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and start on our sauce. In a clean pan, of course, we're going to add our minced garlic. And we're going to stir it around just until our garlic becomes a little fragrant, okay? Now we're going to go ahead and add in our half and half. I'm using a quart of half and half, okay? If you're making a bigger amount, you're going to need more half and half. So go ahead and stir that up and mix it well with your garlic that was in your pan. Then we're going to go ahead and make a cornstarch slurry. It's just cornstarch and water, and mix it up until it's dissolved. You want to make sure that it's really dissolved, okay, so you don't have clunky pieces inside your sauce. Now let's season our sauce. We're going to add in some smoked paprika, garlic powder, pink Himalayan salt, and some ground black pepper. Then we're going to go ahead and add in our cornstarch slurry. That way our sauce will start to thicken up. So go ahead and stir it away. Just stir, stir, stir until everything is nice and evenly mixed. Once it's mixed up, we're going to add in our cheese mixture. This is the fun part. So go ahead and put your cheese in and then go ahead and stir it up until the cheese starts to melt. It shouldn't take too long. Just keep stirring it. That way you won't have clumps of cheese everywhere. And this is what it will look like once all the cheese is melted down. See a nice thick texture. So go ahead and add in your chopped spinach. And you want to stir it up again. Just keep stirring until your spinach starts to wilt some. It doesn't have to be totally wilted, just enough. Once it's done, we're going to go ahead and take our baking pan and we're going to add some of our sauce mixture down in there. Now you want to place your pasta shells open side up. That way when we go to add our seafood mixture in, we can get some of that inside of the pasta. So go ahead and start putting your salmon down in your pan. You can put some salmon in some side of the pieces of the pasta shells, okay? That's fine. Now go ahead and add in your shrimp. They don't have to be even all around. Just go ahead and toss them in there. Now we're going to add on a layer of our sauce and spinach mixture. You can put as much or as little as you want. This is the amount I decided to put in. And I'm going to go ahead and add a few more shells on top of that. Of course, again, you want the open side up. That way when you can add some more salmon and shrimp in there, you can put it in the inside, is what I'm doing now. Okay, so once I'm done that, I'm going to go ahead and add some more sauce on top of the shells that I just put in. And again, put as much as you want. And then lastly, we're going to go ahead and sprinkle some cheese on the top, as much or as little as you want. And then we're going to pop it in the oven. Once it's done cooking, this is what it'll look like, guys. Nice and cheesy and seafood goodness. Guys, when I tell you, I know this is going to be delicious. I hope you enjoy it. But you know we can't forget that garnish, y'all. Go ahead and add on some dried parsley or fresh parsley, whatever you want. And don't forget those bacon crumbles that we chopped up, guys. That turkey bacon gives it that extra little kick. And here you have it. Seafood pasta. Hope you guys enjoy it. Dig in, eat up, and let me know if you guys like it.